Hi there, Neil here from my cottage on the moon with another talk on Thrivalism. This talk we're going to focus on a couple of concepts. There's an awful lot of talk about raising minimum wage, and there's also talk about universal basic income. When I wrote the article Thrivalism, I never even heard of the term universal basic income. But I actually had the whole idea within the article. And it's fascinating to me that people argue over the littlest things that are important to everybody. And there's certain people trying to hold solutions back. The solutions are not left versus right. The solutions are compassionate people working in a cooperative venture towards a solution that's beneficial to all and doesn't put extravagant burdens on anybody else. The problem with raising the minimum wage is that small businesses, literally thousands of them, are having a hard time getting by as it is. And if they had to pay more, they wouldn't be able to stay open, or they wouldn't be able to provide the services that they are. Which makes it that much easier for the mega corporations to buy them out and control the whole marketplace. So I understand through the capitalist ideals that raising the minimum wage will cause problems, and it will. But there's a simple solution. And I've talked about it in other videos, and I've talked about it in the whole Thrivalism concept, and it's based on that exact thing. The whole Thrivalism idea is root. The root difference is flipping the monetary system right side up. There's no reason in the world why everyone can't have a living standard above the poverty for the region that they live in. And therein provides a problem, because we want to try to make a collective solution for the whole planet or the whole country. It's possible. We have to look at individual localized areas and make a solution within them. So universal basic income, if we looked at that in a logical way, that everybody has a right to be here. I've said it before. The universe created everybody. No one is more special than anyone else. No one is greater than anybody else. Nobody has more right to be here on planet Earth than anybody else. So everybody should have a right to living at an above poverty standard. And that's where universal basic income comes in. And I see it different than the way they discuss about it. And if you read my article on Thrivalism, you'll see that the way I said it, based on the individual area where the people live, whatever the established poverty line is to live comfortably in that area, that should be their minimum income. So if a person is working in a low-paying retail position at minimum wage, and that's below that poverty level, that is where we print money out of thin air, as we already do anyways, and give it to those people as the difference to top them up. As an example, if it's established that to live below the poverty, or above the poverty level in your area is $30,000 a year for an individual, and he's working at a minimum wage and he's only making $22,000, top him up that $8,000, so he's at that above poverty level. Everyone has a right to be in this planet Earth, and a universal basic income done in that way would do just that. We can do away with unemployment insurance. We can do away with welfare. Everybody be established at that universal basic income. And the only one requirement is that they have to do something that's productive, that's creative. And that can be helping other people become more productive and more creative. Humanity is at the turning point where we're really understanding that we're all here on one planet. We all have the same basic needs. We all have the same basic requirements. We want to be healthy and happy. We want to have a roof over our heads, and we want to have the food that we need. And so therefore, the universal basic income, done in such a way that it brings everybody up to above the poverty level for the location that they are living in, they'll all spend more money, and guess what? That money will be put into the system, and the trickle-up effect will definitely happen. So, minimum wage, increasing that causes a problem. And universal basic income, looked at with a little bit of common sense, that cream rises to the top, we wouldn't have any problem with giving everybody the life that they need in order to exist in a healthy, meaningful way. Flipping the monetary system is a very simple concept. Yes, it's going to cause an awful lot of problems to activate and put into motion globally. And yet at the same time, it's a solution that everybody wins. And we're all here. There should be no winners and losers. There's only one thing that needs to be done if we're going to increase the universal basic income. And I mentioned it in my article, Thrivalism. There should be a ceiling on how much any one individual can be worth. The capitalists will fight this to the end. But it only makes sense. If a person is worth $100 million, giving him another $25 million doesn't change his lifestyle one bit. Not even one iota does it change his lifestyle. If we capped what any one individual could be worth at $100 million, that would force anybody that's in that corporate environment where they've put together a mega corporation that's making that kind of money. They will have to do one of two things. They'll have to increase the wages of the people that they employ, and or they will have to share in the profits with the community in which they live, or one more thing, they can charge a little less for their product or their service. The idea of power being around money, that is a fallacy that unfortunately humanity has bought into. Money itself has absolutely no power. The only power that it has is the power that we, sheep, we're the sheep, we're giving them the power because they have the money. That's a fallacy. The only thing that money is for, it is a tool. It is a means to exchange. I do this for you, you give me money so that I can buy a product that I need over there. That's all money is. And we've allowed them to manipulate this whole concept that money has power. It has no power. We give it power. It's you and me that are to blame for that. We give them the power because they have the money, which is all a pile of crap. Money has no power whatsoever. All it is, period, is a means of bartering. And I said that in my Thrivalism article, and I talked about the universal basic income in my Thrivalism article. I maybe did talk about the minimum wage, but the whole idea is to make every community self-sufficient, with the people that live in that community able to survive at a level above poverty. It's all real simple. Cream rises to the top. Give those people the money and they'll spend it. They'll spend it and put it back into circulation. And those who are providing the greatest services will still have a chance to build a mini empire. But capping it at an individual not being able to be worth more than 100 million, it eliminates completely the whole power control, the love of power. It's obvious that we have adopted the philosophy of the love of power, and we fight each other foolishly. Left versus right, right versus left. It's the left's problem. They're the ones to blame, or it's the right problem. They're the one to blame for all the world problems. Nah, it's you and me. We're the ones to blame. We allowed that fallacy that money has power to manipulate our creativity. Thrivalism is a root concept. That's what it is. It's a concept. It doesn't have all the solutions, but it has a concept that creates the possibility of solutions to solve all the issues that we have from the North Pole to the South Pole. So, am I in favor of raising minimum wage? Not at all. I'm in favor of establishing a universal basic income based on the requirements for individual communities, what people have to have for a yearly income in order to be above the poverty level. And education will change because of that, because what we have now is we have a controlled education that everybody comes out with the same amount of programmed knowledge. But if we started to give people a basic income so that they are able to live above the poverty, and then assist them to be creative in the endeavors that they want to be creative in, we'll find that every human being on the planet will want to contribute something. We all want to be creative. That's why we're here. Every single one of us wants to create something. We all want to make ourselves feel of value, and we are all of value, but we want to express that in our creativity. So education will have to change in order to make that all fit in, and that's a whole different topic, a whole different chapter. But universal basic income, yes. Raising minimum wage won't work. The whole idea is because of the fallacy of the trickle-down effect is a pile of crap. It's a trickle-up effect. It's a trickle-up effect. Everybody has a right to be on this planet. We're all made by the same loving universal power. No one is better than anybody else, and nobody is worse than anybody else. And quite frankly, nobody deserves to have power tripping because of some illusion that they have billions of dollars. So what? So what? So what? The billionaires get mad because they see people wasting their time playing video games. And yet, they spend a great deal of their time out on the golf course on holidays. Yeah, but we got our money working. What are you doing? No universal basic income, flipping the monetary system, and working on the other concepts that all evolve within the whole concept of Thrivalism is a beginning to possible solutions. We have to stop fighting left versus right. It's a fallacy. And we have to stop believing that money has power. It has no power. The only power money has is what we give it. Thrivalism. Thrivalism. Flip the monetary system and let's make a cooperative planet. Let's make this planet sing, because we all have a right to be here to sing our song. It's a great view. And Thrivalism is a worthy concept to fit into that view. Can you stretch your mind outside the box? Thrivalism.